Welcome to the Brother Mark Scott Show. This is another GMG International production. I have the pleasure of introducing to the world today a very talented, intelligent, and entrepreneurial young lady by the name of Miss Christine Cunningham. I'm going to go ahead and bring her in the studio because I want her to introduce herself to the world. Miss Cunningham, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Brother Mark Scott?
I am doing fantastic, fantastic. First of all, I just want to give a big shout out to Brother Fluky Stokes, the Do Right Man, the entire GMG family for making this introduction. I've had so much fun just trying to get through the technical issues and talking with Miss Cunningham. She
Right.
has an amazing spirit. She's truly intelligent and talented, but I want to give her an opportunity to introduce herself to the world. Miss Cunningham, let us know, who is Christine Cunningham?
I am Kristen Cunningham. I am the CEO of Kristen Entertainment Enterprises and Promotion. I am from Mobile, Alabama. I'm in the entertainment industry. I work with artists. I do pretty much anything artists need, from their paperwork to distribution, publishing, shows, management, label, etc. So that's pretty much what I do. Shout out to GMG, Miss Do Right, and Fluky for this opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, you've got so much to offer as far as information and wisdom, but I do want to talk a little bit about your start. What made you decide to get into music?
Well, I've always wanted to be in the music business. When I was younger in high school, I wanted to be an artist, so I was rapping. And with my producer, DJ Full Moon, Southern Empire, he done a lot of production for mainstream artists, including the last Mr. Big from Mobile, Alabama. So that was the start. And I also was privileged to work with my partner, rest in peace, Clarence Wilson, Mr. Cash Money Bam, who is was working with Cash Money with Baby and them on their come up. So I got to witness a label pretty much being, put together from the ground up.
Yeah. And seeing the ins and outs of a label being built from the ground up seems like that kind of inspired you because, again, you transitioned from an artist to being an owner yourself of your own label and getting behind the scenes in business. What was that exposure, seeing a label as big as Cash Money start from the ground up and having that experience? What was that like for you?
The biggest thing I took from it, that it is possible that you can come from anywhere and make it. And I also, got to see dealing with Baby. There's the flashy side. There's, those guys, they did a lot of guerrilla marketing in the street. Everyone, has the story of Master P selling the CDs out of the trunk of the car. They kind of did the same thing, getting a lot of different units with BG, out hundreds of thousands. And
Hmm.
also, just doing promotion and seeing his brother Slim, who did a lot of the business, behind the scenes, that there is two-part. You had a part where you see Baby, but then you also had the behind the scenes, the business part that makes everything move. So
Right. And again, most people as fans casually, when we see artists, we see the creativity, we see the persona that they put out. But we've also heard the stories of a lot of very famous artists who had big hits or were known across the world. But at the end of the day, they ended up broke because they didn't understand the business side of it. So
correct.
for those up and coming artists, for those who may want to connect with Crystal Entertainment, what is some of the things that they need to understand about the business side?
Well, main thing is having your paperwork in order, and a lot of things are digital now. Even starting with your BMI, sound exchange, all those things of that nature, getting your name and your copyrights for your music, just making sure everything is registered so that you can get paid, get your royalties, and just making sure all your paperwork is in order. And if you do deal with any contracts, having a lawyer or somebody that you trust to review them before you.
Right. And I know we kind of talked about that earlier, but when you say having a lawyer, because again, it's a lot of people who they've done things and they see an artist trying to come up and they be like, you know what, I see an opportunity to get in on the gravy train, and
Right.
they may not be specifically tailored to the industry, but they jump in. What's the difference in a lawyer who understands music contracts and let's just say your average typical attorney who may deal with, say, family law?
Right. There's a big difference. If you're in the music or entertainment industry, you want to try to find an entertainment attorney. Now, family lawyers, you don't want to go with that because, they have more experience in the other courts. Now, a lawyer, may know contracts, but it's better to have that entertainment lawyer because they're going to know the ins and outs of the music business to keep everything in order for you and help you get situated and going.
Okay, okay. So, God, there's so many questions that run through my mind because I can tell you have a wealth of knowledge. But
Yeah.
tell me about your experience when you decided to transition from being an artist to being an owner, wanting to have the business side down pat. What
Right.
was that transition like for you? How did that feel?
It was amazing at first because I had a little money and I found me 5 artists that I loved, and I just got out there and we were doing it. We were going to city to city, went to New York, we were on Black Ink, we went to Memphis, we went everywhere, but boom, I didn't have none of the paperwork in order. So we put the cart before the horse. We was on the radio and everything, but we
Yeah.
didn't work together. So that's why I got bought since.
All right.
We learned, you know. So it's a learning experience. I would suggest to a young person if
Right.
they know they want to do, go to school, get you some business classes or, a degree in whatever it is. If you're going to be a doctor, you're going to go to school 8 years for that. You're going to be a nurse. Like that's my past background. I've been a nurse for over 17 years now. But
Wow.
if that's whatever it is you want to do, learn it. Like,
Yeah.
because I was an artist, and that's what us artists tend to do is just think, oh, I'm a rap, I'm gonna do a show, we gonna be famous. But if that paperwork is not in order, I repeat, you will make no money.
And we definitely not trying to have artists out here being broke, not having no money. That is for sure. So
Right.
tell me that story a little bit. Again, you said you got your first 5 artists, you had some money, you were taking them out there. What would like tell me the story about the first show you did?
My cousin, her name is Amorti. You can follow her on all social media. She is a great singer. She can sing opera. She is like a baby Whitney Houston. So with her being an R&B artist, we're in Mobile. It's more rap than anything.
Hmm.
So just finding somewhere for her to perform was kind of a challenge. So we started going to open mics, and that's where I started to see some of the other artists that I, ended up working with: Shine Boy, Young Nuisance, Free Ass, Drop One Entertainment, Drop One Kizzle. And, from there, we started recording music. We got out, we just started doing different shows. So, and then we started doing our own thing. We would rent the club ourselves, get the whole door, pay for the DJ, things of that nature, pay for all our promotion. And we would make money that way and turn around reinvest it in the business. So that's something that artists can do, because I hear a lot of artists saying, they're not getting booked for shows, or why they don't book this one or that one, when you're not known. So sometimes you just have to make a name for yourself, because that's
Right.
what a lot of all the artists did, whether it was Cash Money, whether it was, Last Mr. Big, like a lot of those artists I know, did that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, I remember years ago reading a story back in the source about Master P because you had brought him up earlier. But
Right.
one of the things I believe it was Mia X had said that before he would actually sign an artist, he would give them a book to read, and it was on the music business, the
Yeah.
industry side of understanding the business.
Right.
And for any artist, like say, if they see this interview and they want to reach out to Kristen because they're trying to figure out how to get their talent and their creativity out to the masses, but they
Mhm.
want to do it the right way, what do they need to have in place? What do they need to know before they reach out to you?
Well, that's the thing that separates me from a lot of people. I'm willing to deal with you wherever you are from the ground up. So it's just a phone call away, a contact away. Um, because everybody got to start somewhere. Uh,
Right.
Artists, they may have some things, but there may still be some things missing. And
Yeah.
like you say, he would give them the book. I'm willing to do, one on one, anything that I'm doing. I like to also, show and share with the artist so that they would know their self,
Right.
what they're paying for, what they're doing, and if need be, they'll know how to do things themselves also. So yeah.
Okay, so you're of the philosophy that a great leader doesn't have followers; they build other leaders.
Right. Yeah. Teach a man to fish. He'll
There
know.
you, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, again, because you've done so much at such a young age in an industry that is notoriously scandalous,
Yeah.
how have you, as a young woman, been able to navigate the industry?
Ooh, just staying prayed up and just I think the biggest way is you have to stay grounded. You have to know who you are and just continue to be that, even though things around you may be out of the ordinary from your norm. And
Hmm.
some advice that I got from Miss Deb Anthony, Walker Flock mom, she's a great successful woman in this business, was to keep your legs closed and your purse open. So with that and just, focus on your business, it's not a lot of room for the nonsense. And if you carry yourself in this way, you don't have as many problems with that part. But no matter what, there is this industry is, they say cutthroat, it is fast paced. You
Right.
have to be up for it. But if you can learn, your business, you're gonna learn something new every day. And if you can get someone, that may can mentor you or, help you along the way, is that's another thing that help. I've had some good mentors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of good mentors, who are some of the people that inspired or mentored you in the business?
Well, Deb is best inspiration, because she's one of the females that does it. But I had Clarence Wilson. His name was Vamp. That was baby cousin in the beginning, and also my late business partner Paul Tutt from Memphis, Tennessee. He was a little chat manager. I actually managed him. He
Hmm.
did work with 36 Mafia. He did work with Bad Boy South. So he was all about being independent with the movement. I signed myself. So I learned a lot from him. And when it comes to doing shows and doing your own thing and being independent in this new wave of music, because things have changed so much with the internet, with streaming, etc. So yeah, those two were big mentors. And also my producer Full Moon, he's also been a mentor. And shout out to my agent, Mr. Walter Jones, can't leave him out of these. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of them. I had a
Yeah.
different parts. Yeah.
Okay. So now that you've got over a decade in the game now, and quite honestly, you look too young to be in the business that long. But
Thank
I'm curious because I like to get into people's mindset.
uh-huh.
You've been in it for a while. You've had some ups. You've had some downs. So as you're sitting at this place now in 2022, what do you see the next 10 years looking like for you in the business?
I feel like everybody in the game, it seems like every story you I watch a lot of documentaries, whether it's rock, whether it's Wu Tang, whether it's whoever, everybody, even Kanye documentary, it was like 20 years before the documentary come out. So I did a decade. I've done my time. It's time to go to the next level. It's time to blow up. It's time for me to have what I've always wanted, which is this label. So y'all stay tuned. We coming. Make
Oh,
situation on the table.
all right. Yeah, y'all heard it right there. It's coming. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better watch out.
What
And so where can people find you for those who want to see what you've got going on?
You can find me on all social media at Kristyle ENT. And that's on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, every social media. And also Kristen Cunningham. My number is 251-366-4497. So, if you're ready to do business, feel free to give me a call. You can DM me. I'm ready to work. And my email is Kristyleentertainment@gmail.com.
All right. So, and I'll make sure I get all that information. I'll put it down in the description box below so you can have all those links to find her, get in touch with her, and do business with her for sure. Now,
Definitely appreciate that.
yeah, my job absolutely is to make everybody in the GMG family look good. And with you, honestly, this is easy because this is probably one of the most intelligent conversations that I've had the opportunity to have. And I'm always impressed, one, to see my people do it, as a woman, I understand that there are different dynamics that you may have to deal with, some far as getting respect sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Um, has there been a moment where you've been in that situation where maybe somebody tried to play you a little soft or play you a little light because you were a lady, but you had to correct them and let them know you was about business and not foolishness? Tell me about a situation like
Yes, sir. Well, they call me K Diddy.
that.
'Cause in those moments, I can go from here to there real quick, and it's been it's been a few moments. I don't know if I should put them on blast.
Okay, all right. Wait, we ain't gonna put nobody on blast. I don't want to put it, but I'm sure there are some stories that you could tell, and I like that because in everybody's story, we
Yeah,
all have nuggets of wisdom, things we've gone through that when we look back, hindsight is 2020. We can see where we messed up or where we could have did better, and
correct.
we try to pass those lessons on to other people. So if there is a story in there without mentioning any names, maybe
Right.
somebody could learn a lesson from one of those experiences.
I'm glad you say the hindsight 2020 because I used to be, very good about handling things in that nature. So, but a business partner of mine, he told me one time when I was upset about some things and I was telling people, I was reading them their rights, as I say. Oh, they was like, well, Kristen, did you do everything that you possibly could have did for the
Mm,
situation to go right? And when I thought about it, it was no. I could have did more, whether it was on a contract end or you just verbalizing what exactly that you thought it should be.
hmm.
Um, I guess one of the situations I could discuss would be we had a studio situation and just everybody not knowing the positions of everyone. And someone that was working with me, he was kind of, pocketing the money. So
Oh,
my manager and a couple of my artists, we came to the studio and my manager had gave him like 48 hours to have my money. So he didn't have the money. So, we pulled up and it was around Christmas and it was cold and they had to get out and all their stuff was on the side of the street in the cold and they didn't have a car. So I can't.
ooh, yeah. I mean, again, when you don't do things the right way, there are consequences and
Right.
repercussions.
But later on, when we all talked, I found out that there was a lot of miscommunication, and some of the other guys they didn't know, exactly the chain of man who's in charge, where money should have been going. So that's why I say you have to have your business in order, and
Yeah,
sometimes you have to look at yourself and say, what could have I done better? You know,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And again, I'm amazed because being new to trying to communicate and help promote artists, um, they are notoriously inconsistent. And as somebody who kind of comes from the corporate structure and sales, timing and punctuality, being professional, taking care of business
right,
it's paramount to
yeah,
getting paid. How
very.
do you juggle all of the personalities and creative types in the music industry when it comes to keeping people on point about business, but still giving them the freedom to be creative?
I think the thing with me, as coming from an artist perspective, I kind of understand a little more because the biggest thing I found a lot of times they don't know. And like you say, when you come from that corporate world, or even when I come from a nursing world, I'm used to things being structured. I'm used to getting a paycheck on Friday at this amount, and it's just set. But
Hmm.
with the music business, it just kind of flow at its own pace. So, and the biggest thing is with them having a team. So therefore, that they can continue to be what they are, which is the artist and create and do music. And then you have somebody over here to help promote it on your social media. And then you have your manager booking your stuff. But when they trying to do it all themselves, I think a lot of times that's where they may get flustered. And then it just depends on the person and their work ethic.
Yeah.
So even with you, some people, somebody told me one time you should never deal with people that's gonna you outwork. Like
Mhm.
they gotta have the same drive about their own career.
It
So
is frustrating to
yeah, it
deal
can
with somebody who ain't as committed as you are with
right,
getting the job done, especially if you're doing something on their behalf.
right, 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 right. And I'm kind of micromanager, so like, but you don't want it to be that way either. So it's
Yeah,
best if you can delegate, and they have a team, and that they're determined. Because there are some artists that really be on that stuff.
yeah.
So it's not like an overall thing, but yeah, that's what I find.
Okay, okay. And speaking of team, I'm a little curious because I want to kind of transition to more the personal side of Miss Cunningham.
Yeah,
Navigating the industry, being a nurse, and again, I know the professional and the personal side sometimes can intermingle, especially when you're around artists and you're on the scene, always on the go. How's that been for you personally as far as relationships goes? How have you been able to balance that part of your life well?
yeah, I have been able to. I think it's not been the usual, I would say, issue with the relationship or personal and business. It's been more of me being a mama and a sister and all of them people, opposed to crossing lines of relationships. So
Right.
like, you have to get that, like, whatever relationship, if it's business, it's business, but
Hmm.
it's gonna be, it is like a family thing, atmosphere too, because you working hand on hand with these people, you know
Right.
if you're all going to be great, so there will be, bonds that are built, but you just have to kind of stay focused on what the ultimate goal is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're real good at drawing lines and keeping boundaries and letting people know, look, this is where we stand. This is what it is. So as long as we keep it like this, it'll be good. But the moment somebody tries to cross that line, you're able to keep that.
I'm a lot better now. I was not before.
Also, so there have been some lessons learned.
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons learned. With me being a nurse, and I'm just like got a big heart and just caring and a nurturer. Yeah, I was doing the most. Like, I was everything: the manager, the promoter, the mama, the baby,
Right.
all the bull, the investor, everything. So like, I had to learn that
Mm,
you can't do everything. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
delegate things.
So that means you've got a pretty solid team that you've been able to build around you.
Yes, I do.
So
Yeah.
what does your team look like?
Now, I have people that I work personally in my city, hand on daily basis or weekly basis talking to. However, just like me and you are connected, I found that a team can be very more structured, more like a conglomerate, where you
Mhm.
have affiliates and you have multiple people that can deliver different services. Like, okay, an artist need an interview, I can send them over to Brother Mark Scott. You know,
Absolutely.
or even a business, and then, with if I need a Southern Soul singer, we got Mr. Do Right. Or,
Yeah.
if I need a photographer, I have photographers, I have producers. So my team is multifaceted and it stretches a lot of the South. I have multiple people like in every state along the Gulf Coast and in the South and some up north. So, like, with that being said, and it ranges from independent startups to very high ranking industry professionals. So yeah, my team, you gotta have a real team. It's like networking and building relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of relationships, and I'm curious personally because I'm in the process now of doing research, writing a book on relationships myself.
Awesome.
Uh, I've made so many mistakes in my life when it comes to relationships. I feel like I have to give back. So I'm working on my ebook called The Dating Game. I'm rewriting the rules so that people can win at dating. And I've identified a couple different levels of dating.
Okay.
You have the casual dating, which I'm sure you see a lot of in the industry. People just hooking up, having fun, no attachment, no commitment, no accountability.
Right.
Then we have the next level. There are people that are in relationships. I like to call them committed because they're committed to an understanding.
Right.
It could be monogamous, it could be open, it could be poly. You define the relationship, but the people you're in it, y'all have an understanding and y'all are committed to keeping that understanding intact.
Correct.
The third level is what I like to call the established level. And this is traditional. People who want to be married, have family,
Right.
build legacy. And all three of these levels have different rules. They move differently, they act differently. And one of the problems that I see so much of is you'll have somebody who's in level 2 or 3, but they're dealing with people who are in level 1. And when the casual person who's in level 1 tries to deal with somebody in level 2 or 3, they're operating by different rules. So
Right.
sooner or later, the relationship is going to run into a wreck.
Right.
And my girlfriend, she actually gave me another level, which is the I'm done level. I'm tired. I can do bad all by myself. And this is usually after you've been hurt,
Yeah.
whatever, gone through a divorce, been cheated on. You either get bitter for a little while, you kind of lick your wounds, you want to be messed with, or
Right.
you get therapy, you go through healing, you detox from it, and then you cycle back around into one of those other 3 levels of dating.
Right.
So, with all that being said, I want to ask you a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
Who in your life romantically has been able to keep you balanced while you deal with all of the professional obligations? Because one, being a nurse, I know my mother was a nurse. That's not an easy job. It's very demanding. It takes a lot out of you time wise and emotionally.
Right.
On top of that, being in a industry such as the music business
Right.
and dealing with other artists, how do you have time to keep anything for a personal relationship?
You barely do. You don't really like. You just got to make time for it. If the person's worth it and that's what you want, you just have to make time for it. So, that's like with any job or anything. You can work. A lot of people work 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? 7 days a week. But if they want to have a good relationship, you got to make time for it. You got to communicate, and you got to find somebody that understands what you do. And sometimes opposite is better, but sometimes it could be someone that's in the same field because they understand it. You just have to find what balance and what works best for you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, let me just get real personal. Are we single? We seeing anybody? What's Miss Cunningham's status?
Complicated.
Okay, I hear a lot of that complicated. And for the young ladies, when you say complicated,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
He know what's up.
Okay. So y'all got an understanding.
Right.
So you would say you're in level 2 of the dating game?
Man, we in the metaverse. We on a whole nother level.
Oh, so y'all like 1.5 divided by 2, carried to 3,
All
put the
that.
exponent on it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but like you say, the casual, that's like that's new to me because like I'm kind of old school. Like my parents are 80 and 90 years old, so like I came up in a whole other generation. So like,
Right.
I've been more for the long-term relationships and monogamy and things of that nature. But like you said, nowadays it's casual city. And one thing, we have all different races, but Caucasian, I ain't gonna lie, they've always been about let's hook up, and then you have dating. And that's the thing, like you say, people have to distinguish what it is that they're doing.
Mhm.
Are we hooking up? Are we dating? Are we in a relationship? And then when you're dating, you're not married. So people have to kind of stop trying to hold somebody to a standard that they're not in, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, and I think this is where the communication really comes in. Is in
Right.
the beginning we have to establish an understanding, and for some reason it seems like there's an epidemic of dishonesty out here. I mean, people will lie to you flat-footed, eyes wide open, smiling at you, and it
Mm.
seems like they have no problem with it these days. I mean, you see it everything from government talking about what they're going to do to advertising and media.
Right.
It's like we've accepted the fact that most stuff is disingenuous. And now, like, most people seem to be like, I'm gonna tell you whatever I need to tell you to get what I want. And then after that, then it's just whatever.
Right.
How do you think, and again, this is just me being introspective because now we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
How do you think we're going to be able to reestablish a code of trust and communication in our culture when lying seems to be so openly embraced?
Well, like you say, it's a whole nother generation. Real is rare and fake is everywhere. So you have to accept that first.
Yeah.
Then some people are actually genuine. You can't just like you said with the women, like your girlfriend was saying with the cycle of I've been through it, I don't want to talk to anybody more, I don't date anymore. Like you have to, a lot of women in that situation, or men even, you have to take time for yourself to heal,
Yeah.
but I'm a hopeless romantic, so I
Ah.
trust you until you show me different, pretty much. So I mean, you have to be open. You can't just look at the world like, oh man, and not even give the new person a chance because they might actually be genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some people they like to, I mean, a lot of people nowadays they go to your Facebook, they investigate.
Oh yeah.
So you
They
know,
create fake accounts to watch you. Like it's all kind of stuff. Social media has changed the relationship game because so many people feel like they got so many more options because they get a lot of likes and on social media. But what we fail to realize, just because somebody maybe show some interest to like what you put out there, don't mean they're gonna stick around for a relationship and for the real parts of life. And I think sometimes we tend to think just because we got a little fame or we popping on social media that it's more than what it is. And I think that disconnect is doing us a disservice. But
right.
uh, I appreciate you giving your insights and your point of view on that. I may probably, if we can work it out, I'd like to just talk to you about relationships on another interview.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
be interested to come back.
that it would be an honor. It would be an honor. But as we get ready to wrap up this interview, I want to give you an opportunity to answer one more question, and then I
Okay.
want you to have an opportunity to give some shout outs. But the
Okay.
question I like to ask, because I always like to be somewhat introspective. Now, after 10 years of experience in the music industry,
Hmm.
being a nurse, at the level of maturity and experience that you are now, and we're
Right.
not going to put a number on it, but you, if you had the opportunity to go back in time to the 18-year-old
Hmm.
Kristen Cunningham
Uh-huh.
and have a conversation with her, knowing what you know now, what
Right.
advice would you give to your younger self about the journey that you have ahead?
I would tell Kristen to don't be afraid to go after your dreams. You're only gonna be young once, and just do it now. Like, don't feel like you have to just go and do what everybody else is doing, or whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to be a pilot, which I flew a plane before, Cessna 152,
Oh,
or whether you want to have a music business or you want to be a rapper or model, whatever it is, just do it because your youth, you'll turn around from 18 and look up 10, 20 years, be gone. So just do it. Like, just believe in yourself and do it. And also, I think starting young, just really investing in things, if that's something that you want to do, the earlier the better. So that what I would tell my younger self.
words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom. So, any more shout outs or anything you want to say in closing that you want the world to know about you, Miss Cunningham?
Well, I just want to give you a shout out and thank you for having me tonight, Brother Mark Scott. And y'all see that cash app going across. Y'all bless me with a love offering. And I will be purchasing your book as soon as it comes out. And everybody just follow me at Crystal Entertainment Promotions, at Crystal ENT on all social media. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my day one. Shout out to all the artists in Mobile, Alabama, and across the United States of America. Shout out to Nilo, my artist in Africa. Yeah, I got an artist in Nigeria, pop sensation coming soon. KEP, Crystal NT, the label will be dropping 2023. So y'all get ready. We got a show coming up for you guys October 13th, which is a Thursday in Mobile, Alabama. We will be giving away a single distribution deal, and that's going to be from Artisan Global Empire. And they're going to also give you 1 month of free promotion, and there will be a cash prize. So hit me up if you're interested in that. I'm also going to have a Halloween party on Friday, October 28th in Mobile downtown. Artists, if you want to perform, hit me up on that. If you need your paperwork, if you need anything done, holla at Crystal ENT. Another shout out to GMG. Shout out to Shine, boy. Artist been down with me forever. His kids, the No Slide Camp, young group coming out. You know, shout out to my city, Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the world.
There you go. There you go. Shout out to everybody, the whole world from Africa all the way to Mobile,
Yeah,
straight out of Houston, Texas. It's nothing but love. Miss
nothing but love.
Cunningham, thank you. You've been an absolute blessing and inspiration. I just want to take this opportunity to give you flowers while I have this opportunity. Your story is amazing, and I know we didn't get to half of the accomplishments that you have, but I definitely look forward to us partnering up and collaborating here in the future. Now,
Most definitely.
I do have a couple of pictures here I want to put up on screen, and I want you to talk about what we have here.
Okay, that is Big Back Thursday, October 13th in Mobile, Alabama. That's a Thursday, will be a club vibe. That's the event I'm talking about where we're giving away a distribution deal for a single. So come out, you can win a cash prize. We're gonna have some special guest judges in the building, Bianca Clark, DJ October, Run Mob, Nora Kid, one of the hottest producers in the city. He produced the famous twins. My artist Shine Boy is on the show. We're gonna have a lot of great talent, Candy Red, DJ Rated R. So yeah, y'all come out, support, and just hit me up if you want to perform.
Big Bag Thursday. And
That is my flyer, Crystal Entertainment Promotions. Just a little few things that I do: hosting, promoting, social media updates, marketing, management, distribution, publishing. I couldn't list everything, but my numbers on there, my emails on there. So those are some ways that you can contact me. KEP,
perfect, perfect.
Crystal Entertainment and Promotions. KEP, keep everything pushing. That's me.
There, keep everything pushing. I love it. I love it. Well, Miss Cunningham, thank you once again for being on the Brother Mark Scott Show. I want to shout out to GMG. As we get ready to conclude this interview again, thank you, Worldwide Collaboration. Shout out to Brother Fluky Stokes, Deep Pockets Entertainment. Of course, the Stack Squad, the new independent conglomerate, the Do Right Man, and of course, I can't forget this is a GMG International production. So, with all that being said, y'all do me a favor, y'all please take good care of yourselves, be blessed, be encouraged, and know that Brother Mark Scott loves you. And again, we're gonna wrap this up. GMG out.